Get more into the Guardians in literally 5 minutes, but we got a quick word from FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get in a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's at FanDuel.com/UCSS. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And the reason we have to get this topic in today is because Dustin is not on the show the rest of the week. And last Wednesday we talked about the Browns' ability to slow Jaden Daniels down as a runner. They did a very poor job stopping Jaden Daniels as a runner. He rushed for 82 yards in the game.
That's an understatement.
And when I asked you guys, it was the same panel last Wednesday, how do you slow him down? G. Bush, your answer was you just got to tackle. Got to tackle. And that's a fair answer. But they didn't do a good job of that against Washington. Jalen Hurts runs more than any other quarterback in football. Do you have a adjustment that this Jim Schwartz defense has to make to do a better job containing a running quarterback? You and Dustin were in line last week. I'm curious if it's the same this week.
I think to Garrett's point, like about the tackling, like, yeah, you got to tackle, but also like when you play a quarterback that is mobile to the point where it's like Lamar, like a Jalen, like Jaden last week, Jaden Daniels, it's not just about making, like, you have to expect that play is going to continue and continue and continue to play until it's over. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, I always talk about tennis. It's like a guy hits a winning shot. You sit there and you watch it. You become a like, I had a great shot. And then the guy gets it and hits across court, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, what happened? That's what happens with these quarterbacks. All of a sudden, you know, they escape the pocket, or it looks like a sack, and you're like, oh, yeah, you almost start celebrating a play, or in the back end, you think you got to continue to play throughout the down and then some with these mobile quarterbacks.
To your point, I think you mentioned this yesterday, not to this degree, but that crazy play that Lamar Jackson did against the Bengals. I think the Bengals had thought they stopped him. Right?
Yes.
They thought the play was over.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, oh my God, Lamar got out, and now he threw it down the field.
And then also, like in the back end, those guys may have let up a little bit because you kind of take a peek. You're like, oh, yeah, we got this guy in the backfield.
Plus, you've covered for 10 seconds or whatever it is.
It's so rare at that point that a guy's going to be able to still make a play, especially when you see him running for his life.
Right. Yeah,
Sean said something, man, and he said it about the quarterback play. You know, little lazy habits start to trickle into your game plan. You know, in practice, you pull up a couple of steps early. Mm-hmm. You don't tag off on a running back on the way out. Running backs kind of, jog it out. And you build those bad habits, and you're going to carry those bad habits, especially under pressure, into the game. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I don't see from the Cleveland Browns is there's not that level of game tackling. The Browns looked so great last year because if one guy didn't get you, the second or third guy was going to get you. It was like, I remember, playing with great players and being like, hey, if I don't bust my tail backside on this, Mike Dawson's going to have every tackle. And then how am I going to college? I can't just have Mike Dawson get every tackle. Like, bro, I need something left for myself to at least show I got some worth. And it doesn't seem like those guys are playing to the tilt of saying, I got to get here. If I don't get here, no one is going to make this play. And when you try to tackle these great quarterbacks, the elusive quarterbacks one-on-one, they're going to make somebody miss. They're going to make the first guy miss. You may have it in the backfield. You got to wrap up. You got to get all the guys to the plate. And I just don't see the energy level. And some of it is to do with, you're losing. You're not getting help offensively. That energy level is something that's going to be hard to bring to the table. But if the Browns don't bring that level of energy, they're going to get blown out again. Because they're not good enough to just make plays. Like, they're not good enough to just show up and get a couple picks or turn up. They're going to get blown out, and they're going to run the ball. Saquon Barkley is electric. They're
coming off a bye, too.
Jalen's going to run. Name the number.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And you know that Sirianni's going to come into this game.
He's what they have right now.
And they'll run quarterback power till the cows come home.
Yeah. They got two receivers. So that's better than anything you got.
They've both been hurt. I think they're both coming back.
I think they're both going to play.
They're both expected to play.
I have a question for you, G, because obviously when it comes to defensive principles, you two have lived this. I've always felt like you have to set an edge. You want that edge. And the play that stands out to me was JOK was directly across Jaden Daniels. And if this is the Oklahoma drill,
He just fell.
I think he's going to end up on the ground face first because he's going to get out-athleted. And I think JOK is a great athlete. However, he bought the inside move, and then Jaden got the corner, and there was no help there. To me, I feel like you want to pin him in and don't let him get on the edges. And if he has to do work in the middle, and I could be wrong on this, I'm just guessing, to me, he gashes you for 3, 5, 7 yards. He's not going to take 130 up the middle usually. I know it happens, and Lamar's the guy that's good enough to make that happen. I just think set an edge and make him take his chances up the middle of the field.
Lane assignments, we talked about it last week. Lane assignments is key. JOK came up, Dustin, and what you probably noticed, he didn't break down. He just ran in there. Like when you're given a quarterback, they teach these drills now. They teach the pivot spin move.
It's all it is a quarterback essentially is a punt returner.
Yeah.
And when you got guys, they're like running their gaps,
Yeah.
like a gunner on a punt return. Because I've been there, and you basically just run as fast as you can, and the guy gives you a little olay, and then you're like, whoop, whoop,
You don't the arm.
You're doing the Chris Berman. Whoop,
whoop, whoop. That arm, you get shook. That arm be way out here because you outside the frame of your body. Listen, you got to break down. And
that's how I broke my damn wrist.
they come up with, and the defense
can't tackle with the forearm.
Nobody's doing you with the forearm shiver no more.
By the way, they're still pulling Chris Berman out of mothballs every Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
For the plus thing?
Oh, yeah.
Sure. It's a little sad. He kind of looks like such a mess.
He also does the fastest 3 minutes on the Monday night show.
Yeah.
I like Berman.
I didn't realize
No,
how
he also
big
does
Berman
the
was.
streaming show
Oh, yeah.
with what used to be NFL primetime.
Yeah.
You work with him.
I
when you were
did.
there. I mean,
His office was next to mine.
I won't ask you for an opinion either way.
We'll wait that out.
Jay, I didn't realize he was a giant dude.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I
well,
had
that's
no.
why they call him Boomer because of his voice. But
I didn't know that. Yeah.
like he's just
He's bigger than
he's
you.
an imposing.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what.
He's an imposing
NFL
individual, by the way, that once upon a time reinvented the position of sportscaster and is wildly talented. And look, I'm okay with the lifetime contract for Chris.
That
I am.
NFL prime time. Like you watch
That was it.
Tom Jackson?
Does anybody watch it anymore? Is it still on? I don't even know.
No,
on Plus.
it streams,
It's on
it
Plus.
streams now.
But they do the
nobody watches
They do
it.
the linear on halftime of the game.
Well, here's the problem. The problem is that because NBC is the rights holder in that window, they're the only ones allowed to show highlights on TV.
Right.
That's crazy.
And NBC is doing now essentially what Boomer and TJ did for years. Now it's Boomer and Booger.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just
not the same.
No, it's not
It
the
ain't the
same.
same.
Now,
Anyway.
they're still doing a great show, but the way we consume has changed, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, right.